Hello guys, how's it going? I'm just gonna wait a few minutes to allow more people to join in before we can start. All right, guys. So we are gonna start. I see more people are joining in. Shinke, I know you're a co-host, so you can approve some of the people that are joining in as before we start, as well as a call. I also made you a co-host. Is Emmanuel in the room? Awesome. Shinka, if you can share your screen, that would be lovely. And we can kickstart the presentation for the masterclass today.
I think Emmanuel still will be joining shortly, I think.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me give him one more minute. You can just extend it to presentation view. That'll be lovely. And we will wait for Emmanuel to join. How is everybody doing?
Hey, how are you guys? How is everyone doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. What about you guys?
We are
Very well.
good, we are good. Welcome.
No, thank you. Thank you for taking the session.
Is Emmanuel here or not yet?
I think we can proceed. Emmanuel will join us.
Amazing. Thank you. So we are going to start the masterclass for today. One thing I want to say is for those who join us for our first masterclass, welcome back. And for those who are joining us for the first time, we also welcome you again. So first, I wanted you guys to all meet our team. If you go to the next slide, basically, we have some of our team member from Avest Digital here. We have Akol Makur, as well as Shinke, and I will give Shinke time to speak and introduce herself, as well as Akol to introduce himself. And then once Iman will come, he will also introduce himself on behalf of the Excellency Foundation for South Sudan, which are our partner for the masterclass today. Shinke, you can speak.
Hey everyone, I'm Shinke. I'm the project manager and editor for Avi's Digital. So I basically oversee the projects, see how things are being put together, and ensure social media posts and blogs are well written before being published. Akol, you want to go next?
Oh, yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Akol. Makur. I'm the marketing director for Avest Digital and also the country County representative. I'm based in Juba, South Sudan, and Nairobi.
Amazing. And Akol, you also wanted to explain Emmanuel's role if he hasn't joined yet.
Maybe we can just proceed when he comes. We'll give him a chance to introduce himself. Emmanuel is representing the Excellent Foundation for South Sudan.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Sounds good. We'll give him more time at the end of the presentation to also speak about himself and the program that they're currently running in South Sudan. If you can go to the next slide, Shinke. Yeah, so today, as I mentioned, this is the second masterclass that is hosted by Advance Digital and Black and the Excellency Foundation for South Sudan. And our topic for the day is going to be digital marketing or is for startup and entrepreneurs. Basically, we're talking about the global demand, career strategy, and business growth. That is our main focus. And we wanted to focus on the foundation for setting you to success, whether you're a student, you're career professionals, or you're entrepreneurs. But solely today presentations, it is highly kind of focused on people who already have businesses and people who are thinking of opening businesses and things like that, looking at the global market context, the platform breakdown, as well as how you can utilize digital marketing to help you and optimize your business. And for those who are joining in today, for those who know me from the last presentations, welcome again. And for those who just getting to know me right now, is that I'm a serial entrepreneur, the CEO and the co-founder for the Advance Digital. I'm also an ex-Google product trainer. I spend majority of my time working at Google as their product trainer and account strategist. Also currently as an associate director for IPG. My over 10 years of experience, basically, I focus a lot in digital marketing, branding, paid media, managing over 700 accounts, both in US, Canada, Europe, and the Middle East. I'm also a speaker and a facilitator for colleges and university here, and I attend a lot of tech conferences, and I'm super excited to be here to teach you guys some of the industry experience and some context on how to utilize digital marketing, because these are some things that I have been using for the last 10 years. The learning outcome for today's lesson, if you, Shinke, if you can go to the learning outcome. I'll keep going to the next slides, please. Thank you. Yeah, so with the learning outcomes, we are going to cover the master cost-effective way for digital marketing strategy for startups. And then we're also going to learn how to generate leads and convert them into customers. Another thing is I'm also going to give you guys a basic understanding of SEO, SCM, email marketing, and paid ads. And then we're going to utilize all of that to build a simple and powerful marketing plan. We're also going to give you guys some time to work on an activity. Normally, if this is like an in-person, you guys will all have to get into groups and actually do some exercise together as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop some of your questions on the chat box, because I'll be taking those questions at the end and I'll be able to explain and elaborate more on it. So feel free to drop the questions in the chat. Next slide, please. So what is digital marketing? If I know there is about 16 people that's just joining. What is digital marketing from your understanding? If one person can answer, or I can pick somebody from the audience.
Even if someone wants to raise their hand, so it's easier to see,
Yeah.
answer the question.
I see Habib, I see David, I see Betty, Alex. Anybody want to take a dab on what is digital marketing from their perspective? Or you can drop it in the chat as well. Yeah, Habib, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, colleagues. My name is Habib Rashid, like you might have seen on my profile. Digital marketing to me would mean use of possibly online platforms to promote products and basically doing marketing using the online platforms.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's totally correct. And then we also have David Moore in the chat. He said, I think it's a marketing using technology. That is totally correct. If you go to the next slide, Shinke, so we're going to elaborate more on that. So thank you all for answering that. These are totally correct. So digital marketing is basically the use of online platform technologies and digital channels to promote products and services, or even like how your brand can connect with customers and the audience that you're trying to target. So think of digital marketing like you're trying to reach to an audience and you're trying to engage with them in order for you to build a robust like community, and this community will later on convert into customers so that they can be a buying customer. Or even if you're talking from B2B, like a business to business, this will be like individual that you probably engage with them on LinkedIn. And if your business able to support another business, and then you guys will also kind of like, offer and exchange some sort of collaborations and business engagement. So this is basically what it's basically used for, using online platform to help you reach, engage, and convert to customer online. If you go to the next slide, Shinke. So in the next slide here, this is basically kind of us breaking down what is the digital marketing kind of holistically looks like. So digital marketing simply means like reaching customer online, as I mentioned, where they're already spending their time, because we know people are spending their time on Google, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. Unlike traditional marketing, because when you have traditional marketing, it's really hard for you to measure, and it really is not cost effective. Whereas with digital marketing, you could promote your products and services online, and you'll be able to measure that. As well as you can use your website, you can use your social media pages, you can use search engine like Google and Bing and Yahoo, and you can even use like email marketing. And I know a lot of you guys have received tons of emails lately. Probably in the last 4 days, you guys have received at least 6 emails from me. So we were using email marketing to give you guys a reminder also like this class is happening. That's also a form of digital marketing in a sense. And then also ads, we push on ads by sending in like the email marketing blast, as well as like, Facebook ads and things like that. Another thing with digital marketing is that it's accessible and it's something that we're able to measure and scale it as well. And I will give you guys example of how that is being utilized in terms of like the campaign performance and things like that in the upcoming slides. If you go to the next slide, Shinke, in the next slide is basically we're talking about why does digital marketing matters for startups, especially if some of you guys are thinking of opening a business or creating a business in Juba right now. You're thinking of, do I actually need digital marketing for my business? Like, why does it even matter? And the answer is that in the next slide is that digital marketing, if you go to the next slide, Shinke, yeah. So one thing I wanted to give you guys is that a startup usually don't have the same budget or resources as large companies, right? So every marketing dollars matters, and every marketing dollar must work in order for you to generate conversion and things like that. Then that's where the digital marketing kind of comes in as a game changer for you. One thing I was like, it's cost effective for the growth. So instead of spending like thousands of dollars on, let's say, billboards or TV ads, or like, pushing it to bloggers and getting influencer, you can start small with like, with a small campaign on, let's say, pushing ads on Facebook, on pushing up on Instagram or TikTok and things like that. It's more cost effective that way, as opposed to trying to put a big billboard, let's say in Juba Road or something like that. And then another thing is target reach. You don't have to waste money on advertising to people who are not interested at your brand. You can literally, with digital marketing, you can segment it down. You can find people in platform like Google Ads, TikTok, LinkedIn, allowing you to basically zero in your audience to the right demographic and the right locations and also the right interests. You know, like what does the age group look like? What gender are you trying to go after? Is it male or female? Are these people like older or younger? Or even like what are they interested in? Are these people looking for more tech related products, or they're looking for more like a hair products, or they're looking for sports products? So like you also get to know like their interests and targeted them like the reach more effectively. And the other thing is it also helps you with build like credibility and trust. So having a strong online presence, like for example, as a business owner or an entrepreneur, you should have a website, you should have a social proof and reviews. That kind of shows that, oh my, this is something like when I'm looking for your service and I see that you have a strong online presence, you have a lot of followings, you have a lot of people engaging, and you also have a lot of customer review people talking about how good your product or your service is, I'm more likely to engage with you. And that's also part of that building trust and credibility. That's why you see a lot of big brands like Nike, MTN, and all that. They all have social media platform because they understand in order for them to build a long-lasting legacy and a credibility, they have to have a strong presence online. And also, as a small startup who's coming into the industry, digital marketing also gives you a playing field to be among these people as well. And the other thing is, like, as I mentioned earlier, it's like measurable. So you're able to measure your ROI. Whereas for traditional marketing, let's say, for example, I put in a big billboard in like Amarat Road or whatever, right? Like by High Amarat. But because I put the billboard there, a lot of people who are driving by in a Boda or in a bus or walking around, they will see that ads. But you're not able to measure how many people who have seen that advertising billboard thing and later on came and buy a product from you or did a service with you. You're not able to measure it. However, if you're using, let's say, Google Ads and Facebook Ads, you can actually measure how many people clicked on that ad, how many people have engaged, and how many people actually end up buying a product from you as a result of that. That's why digital marketing is more powerful compared to traditional marketing, and also giving you competitive edge. So you're able to kind of play in the field, even though you're starting small, your dollar still will make a meaningful impact into that sense. Any question here, or should I move to the next point? You're good? Cool. If you have a question, feel free to raise your hand or drop it in the comment below. We can go to the next slide, Shinka. Amazing. So the benefits of digital marketing for entrepreneurs. So now if you're an entrepreneur, you already have a business, you're not starting, you already have established business. That does not mean you can't do digital marketing. Digital marketing is actually there for you to help you scale up and grow faster, right? So you could use it for faster customer acquisition. So with paid, like for example, running a paid Facebook ads or running a paid WhatsApp ads, and also can help you make viral content. You're able to attract more customers, you're able to grow your page. There is some ads, like for example, if you just trying to grow your page, you can pay for some of the ads copy to help you get more people to engage with your page and grow your engagements. And then for the lower customer acquisitions, you can also get into like compared to traditional channels, for example, TV digital is more targeted, and you're able to target more precisely with the dollar amount that you have. And the other thing is like also great for brand awareness. So you can use like social media, you can do like SEO and even content marketing, like writing blogs to get more notice. That also helps you with getting more brand awareness. So more people get to know about your company and what you actually do just outside of your targeted zone. Word of mouth is good for the business, but the new form of word of mouth is actually you having social media platform and you posting content, you're posting your product that you're selling or the services that you're offering in this online platform. The other thing is also is data-driven decision, because from the analytic, like from how many comment or how many engagement you have or how many people actually end up connecting you through your WhatsApp for your business, you'll be able to know, okay, what are certain posts that your customers are engaging with and you're actually generating profit, and which of the ones that are actually not generating any profit. And then from there, you'll be able to either scale up your marketing ad budget or scale down or basically change to something else. That is another way of kind of you scale your strategy, whether you're running like a one-person operation, like you're the only person operating the company, or you have a team, you can still utilizing digital marketing to work for you. And sometimes people also do end up hiring a marketing agency like us to do the work for them because we have more understanding and things like that. And that's the reason why a lot of our client and customer, they come to us to do the marketing plan for them and also manage a lot of their social media accounts. You can go to the next slide, okay? So now let's look at it in terms of like traditional marketing and the what's it called? Digital marketing. So marketing is how businesses obviously like reach customer today, right? There are two methods, like digital and traditional. When we talk about the digital, we're talking about using all the online channels like social media, website, email, SEO engine. It allows you to target precisely. For example, as I mentioned earlier, you can use like your ads to target, let's say, women age 25 to 35 in Juba who are interested in fitness. That's if you're a gym owner. And then everything is basically you're able to measure how many of these women in that age group actually clicked on the ad, and how many of them actually end up signing up for that gym program, and the outcome of that campaign. Another thing with the traditional is that it's mainly like offline. Like let's say you paid one of the radios in Juba, you paid them, I don't know, $500 to run an ad for you. And they went in and did an announcement on your company. They did a marketing plan for that whole week. But you're not able to measure as a result of like how many people in Juba listened to that radio actually came and did a business with you, because you're not able to measure that, right? And the targeting is so broad. Sometimes people that are listening to that particular radio channel might not be interested in fitness or gym. Nobody wants to be a gym boy or gym girl. So you're basically targeting a wider audience as opposed to more precise people that are actually trying to go after. And that is why digital marketing always win against the traditional marketing when it comes to like measure and scalability. The next slide, it's about the cost effective. So as I mentioned earlier, it's more affordable compared to traditional. And also you can target the right specific demographic, location, and interest. And then you can also measure it, like everything is tracked. There's a lot of data analytical that we use in our agency to make sure that we're able to track, we're able to do we use Google Tag Manager, we use Google Analytics to measure and track these activities. And then we're also able to work with different wider people, like whether you're a startup, you're an entrepreneur, you're a global company, you're a very big enterprise, we can still utilize digital marketing for you at any level. And also engaging is a two-way interaction between the brand and also the customer. In the next slide, basically now we're going to look into the core, what's it called? The core channels overview. We have, for example, for SEO, this is usually like where people get to find you. So if people go to, let's say, to Google and type in dental office near me, or hairstylist near me, or let's say printing company near me, you want to be able to show up if that's what you're offering. And if you're a lawyer, maybe if somebody's like lawyer in Juba, they type that keyword, you want to be the first one to show up. So you would optimize your website by using SEO to make sure that when people are looking for that particular service or particular business products, you are showing up. And then with the paid ad, like for example, SME is basically the search engine, and then the social ads, you want to reach out to the right people. So you can reach out to people who are probably looking for that specific service you're offering. And then you can also build like a media community. So always make sure, like as a brand, if you have a page and people are responding and commenting and everything, you want to engage with them, because that shows that your company or your brand is actually responsive, and people are way more likely to be able to even promote you to their friends and family and things like that. And then email nurturing, as I mentioned, a lot of you guys have already received 4 to 5 different emails from me just within this week. That is part of our email nurturing to make sure that we're constantly updating you guys with the masterclass, and we're constantly keeping you guys, updated with what's happening and what's coming. And then content marketing is basically, it's a way of you basically educating your customers or educating your clients by offering them like blog content. And that's also a big part of what Chinka actually does, is editing blogs, making sure that, posters are going out and things like that. That is what we do with the content marketing aspect of it. And it's everything with blogs, video, infograph, podcasts, to educate your customers, to make sure that you become like, you're building authority, and you're also attracting a customer at the different stages of their buying journey. And I'm going to talk more in the upcoming session look like. So now let's talk about how do we apply this, right? So far, any questions so far, or shall I continue? And also let me know if I'm going too fast, because I tend to speak really, really fast as well. You guys can drop it in the comment below. And so where do we apply digital marketing? If you go to the next slide, is that digital marketing can be applied in 3 different formats, right? So one is organic. What I mean by organic is that it's part of the digital marketing where it's not basically, Chinka, go back a little, one slide back, please. So the organic one is basically the blogs and the email and the social. This is something that doesn't cost you any money. You can literally just do it without, like, writing a blog. You don't need to have money. You don't need to put any paid money towards it. You can write email marketing. There's a lot of like MailChimp and things like that. You can utilize the what's it called, the free version of it. You don't have to pay for it, especially if you're just starting out your business. You don't necessarily have to pay for those. Whereas when it comes to the paid version side, you would actually have to invest in order for you to get that. And normally with organic marketing, it takes longer. So for us, normally when we want to measure like success of the campaign for a client, for the organic side, we give them up to 6 months in order for them to start seeing like the impact of the work that we do. Whereas for the paid search, this is something that you can see it like within a day or a week. You can still see like automatically, depending on how much budget you actually allocated for the paid side, you'll be able to see a faster growth in that area. And then best practice is always to do combinations of both, because you want to build a strong organic presence, but as well as also push to get faster reply as well. So it's always good to do both. And then now let's look into the organic marketing side. So when it comes to the paid digital marketing, we have things like search ads, which is basically a PPC. We use like Google ads, we use Bing, we put in keywords, and those keywords, obviously each keyword have a different cost to it. And then Google or Bing will charge you based on the clicks for the ads. They don't charge you for how many people looked at your ad. They don't charge you for how many reach you got. They charge you based on your actual ad clicks. That's what you get for. And then if you're running a YouTube campaign, they charge you for example, if you're doing YouTube bumper campaign, after you get like 1,000 views, that's when YouTube will start charging you. Like every 1,000 view, you get charged for it. And then if you don't get 1,000 view, basically you're not getting charged. That means that campaign is not effective. So you would have to kind of optimize and recustomize your target again to make sure that it works. And then for social media, they normally charge by like depending on the type of campaign you put. You can use like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn. The charges are vary, and I know LinkedIn is pretty expensive compared to the other platform. For Facebook, Instagram, usually like the base cost for it is like $3 per day, whereas for LinkedIn, the minimum I believe is like $30 now. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, and also it's really great for like a B2B market, or if you're just doing like a business to business, if you're looking for like to target people based on their career, based on like the job titles and things like that, that's more effective to you. As opposed to like, let's say if you are a brand who sells clothes and things like that, you wanted to probably use Instagram and TikTok, not so much like the LinkedIn aspect of it. So you have to choose the right medium when you need to drive a better performance for your marketing campaign. And then when it comes to like shopping ads, you can use like e-commerce products. So Google does have like shopping specific. You can also use like Amazon pushing your ads there. And then with another effective thing that we have done like a test, we did the test, me and a call a while back, on running some shopping campaigns through using like WhatsApp messaging, and it was really, really effective. It was like a 3 days campaign, and we received about 350 phone call contact of people actually wanted to buy this product. So in Juba, it does work. And this, we were targeting Kenyans, South Sudan, and what's it called, Rwanda, I believe. And there was a lot of like impact that happened there. So if you're thinking like, hey, does actually this digital marketing make sense to me in South Sudan? It really does. And people actually seeing positive impact when they're utilizing the digital marketing aspect of things. Next point, next slide. So best practice, obviously you always wanted to put like a SMART goal. So you have your SMART goal needs to be a specific, measurable, achievable, and retainable. And you also need to have like a time bomb to it, and also use the right target audience. When you're trying to do any paid ad, you need to know like, who are you targeting? What do your target audience look like? And then always trying to do like A/B testing, and also have like a landing page to track like your KPIs, because all the money that you're putting in and all the effort of the campaign that you're utilizing, you want to make sure that you're able to track them, and you're able to do like, for example, if you're targeting like students, like let's say you're a teacher, you're targeting students in Juba, you probably need to have like one out copy just talking about, oh, our school is the best, and then you have another copy talking about like the benefit of the courses that they're gonna get out of that. So that would be like the A/B testing you're running to see which of the ad copies is more effective. And it's always great to do that when you're running digital marketing, because you're giving the engine more opportunity to help you discover which of the copies are basically more effective. And then you wanted to turn the one that is not effective, continue with the one that is more effective. If you go to the next slide. So organic marketing, as I mentioned earlier, is just mainly just like, the SEO. These are things that you mainly would do on your website with regards to like the on page. On page is basically all the content that you write on your page for your website. The off page, these are the things that are basically like happens like when it comes to like the connecting of the what's it called, like link juice and things like that. And then the technical side of things, it will be like from your the URL like structures and things like that, and then also like the coding and tracking. When it comes to SEO, it has a very in-depth like training. I do have a whole 1 hour presentation just on the SEO side of things. So if you guys want that later, I'll be able to share with you guys also that particular thing on how to optimize your website for SEO. And then content marketing, I always encourage people, if you have a website, always make sure that you're writing blogs, you're doing case studies, you're having videos. These will help you organically, because these are some things that does not cost you a lot of money, but it does help you with improving your overall like brand visibility and brand authority. And people are more likely, if people are searching for answers or searching for helpline, they more likely will end up coming into your website. And it also, SEO and blogs helps to drive traffic to your website organically. And these are some things that we utilize. And then with email marketing, that basically helps you with building lists and segmenting and personalize the email that you're sending out, so that people, especially when you have, let's say you have products that are coming up, you'll be able to promote your product, telling people, hey, we're going to do a massive launch soon. So then once you get closer to the date, you can also do another email blast, be like, hey, the products are here, or we're doing a sales, like 50% off for Christmas sales, Thanksgiving sales, and things like that. So you're definitely going to utilize that email marketing component of it. And for the next slide, this is basically how do we apply digital marketing for different type of businesses. As we know that there is B2B, which is like reaching other businesses. So you would use like LinkedIn and Google Ads. And then there is the B2C, which is basically reaching directly to customers. This you can use some things like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And then there is the direct to consumer, which is, we call it the D2C. This is basically if you're trying to sell without like any middleman, and you would use like TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. And then sometimes you would also need to do like a personal brands. And like, for example, if you're a coach, you're a creator, you're a lawyer, you're a journalist, then you would use like personal brand type of marketing in order to reach out to people. And this is something that we discussed in our first masterclass last 2 weeks ago with regards to like the importance of personal brand. Any questions so far, guys? Any questions? Somebody want to raise their hands up? We good? Cool. And then next one is, who is your target audience? When it comes to the target audience, you want to identify where are they? Are you targeting people just in Juba, or are you targeting people South Sudan wide, or are you targeting people just in, let's say, by Toinpint or something like that? Like you being very hyper specific. So identify the zip code. Like if you are restaurants, probably you want to target just locally, because you don't do, especially in Juba, a lot of people don't do Uber Eat. They don't like, send food products out. So people have to come and eat in the restaurant. So your digital marketing ads will be just kind of locally within that zip code. And then when it comes to other service, like let's say logistics, or you're doing some like airport stuff, maybe you want to do the marketing wider, like the whole of South Sudan, because people can go from different places to different places. It's a wider business. And then if you are a lawyer who only practice law within, let's say, Juba, or if you're, let's say, a journalist in Juba, then you would only target the Juba as a whole, because that's the type of audience or location you're going after. And let's say if you're doing a lot of like women, gender-based stuff, your marketing will only focus on women. Then you will basically choose the age group and the gender. And if you're doing it for both, then you put both male and female and things like that. And then psychographic, that's mean like their interest. What is these people interest, like their lifestyle? Are they like students? Are they like career professionals? Are they married? Are they like parent, or things like that? So some of these stuff will also help you when you're segmenting into the component of finding the target audience. So for example, here we have Sarah. She's 28. She's a busy entrepreneur looking for affordable business solution. And if I am a digital marketer agency, I wanted to target Sarah because I know she's busy, but she also have a business. She wants to find solution. Then if I'm running my ad, I'll make sure that I include her age group, and I also include the fact that she's looking into business related products, and I'm most likely able to reach her through my ads there. Next slide, please. So the next thing with regards to like simple marketing plan. So you always want to develop like a simple marketing plan. The first thing before you start any of your marketing plan is obviously identify your target audience. And then the other thing is like choose a medium. Always choose like 2 organic and 1 paid channel. That's like the best practice. And then for the KPI and budget, always give your marketing plan like a monthly budget. You want to allocate monthly budget as opposed to like what's it called? Quarterly budget, because then you would know by month, you can do like a month over month review and see like how are they pacing. Sometimes especially in the digital marketing industry, there's a lot of seasonality. Like let's say when it comes to product selling, Christmas time, you will have a lot more clients, a lot more. This is probably the time you wanted to push more marketing budget to get more sales. And then once January comes, you probably need to dial it down, because that's when a lot of people are broke. They spend so much during the holiday. So now maybe you also need to reconsider on like reallocating lesser budget for the medium marketing and something like that. So just to keep in mind, that's how you would do when you wanted to structure your marketing plan. And then for the next one, the next slide. Also, as I mentioned earlier, for example, we have the beauty business here. She wants to sell a 500 skincare kit in 3 months. So what we did for her, this is one of our clients that we worked on, is we target women from age 20 to 35, because these are basically the women in that age group. They always want to look good. They always wanted to have like the best skincare and beauty. And then the channels that we focus on is we focus on Instagram, TikTok. Organically, we were just basically posting a lot of the products and the videos and the review on TikTok without pushing any ads on TikTok and Instagram. And then we used Meta, which is basically Facebook, to run our paid version of the ad copy. And then some of the KPIs that we were measuring how many people came to the website and actually purchased the products. And then what is our cost per acquisition? So for every dollar we spend on this ad, how much sales did we actually generate? So that's what we kind of consider the cost per acquisition. And then some of the optimization we did is that some of the ads that were not like converting or driving like sales, we stopped them. And then the ad copies that were like working really great, we increased the budget for that so we can give us more sales. So these are some examples of how we utilize like audience channels and using two organic and one paid and how we optimize towards that. Any questions so far? Cool. Thumbs up if you guys are good. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, so now we are going to do a mini activity. Let me see how many people are here. So normally I would leave the activity at the very end, but essentially what I want you guys to do is that if for your businesses, take this screenshot. If you're able to screenshot it, is that what you need to do is like if you have a product like right now from your business, you want to write down who are your audience. You want to know like the age group, their gender, their location, occupation, and then you also want to know what do they want and what are some of the pinpoint that they have. And because from the product and services that you're offering a solution to the problems. So then you can share. You can be like, my target audience is that. They need this and I'm able to offer this. So this is like basically your first point of building down marketing is basically structuring out your target audience. And then once you complete that, now we're going to move into like actually understanding the buyer journey. How can we target these people from different stages of their buying journey from the next slide. If you can go to next slide, Shinke. So before we get to the buyer journey, I also wanted to mention that with digital marketing, there's a lot of legal things, a legal side of things that you need to understand. Whether you're in the States and Canada, we have a very different laws and rules and regulations of what we could do and cannot do, especially when it comes to email marketing. We always need a consent in order for us to send anybody email. Or if you send somebody an email marketing without them giving you a consent, you can actually get in trouble for this. But for East Africa, I took a look at some of the data, what's it called? The data privacy and protection. So in countries like, for example, if you're targeting people in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, they have been developing like some protection with law. So they have the Kenya Data Privacy Act for 2019. And also they have the Uganda Data Privacy for 2019 Act. So you need to review that before you're running any digital marketing for these countries to just make sure that you're complying with the legal side of things. And then in South Sudan, it's still like, I don't think there's any ethical handling personal data that is like very crucial at the moment. I'm not sure unless there's like a lawyers in this room that can actually emphasize that, but at the moment I'm not quite sure. It's like, what are some and then consent and transparency. Always make sure that you get explicit consent from your customers before sending them anything, and also make sure that you have a clear communication on how the data is being used, especially with people giving you their numbers. People are giving you their phone numbers, email addresses, first name, last name, all this information. You want to make sure that you're keeping and protecting those information of this individual. They're not getting leaked out, right? And that's why even when you guys are signing up our forms for these classes, we did mention to you guys this information is only used on the contact form that you guys are sending us is only used for a means of, communicating with you for the upcoming classes and things like that. So we need to also stay compliant, and that's why we also included the consent form in our form for registration form. Ethical marketing practice, also always avoid like misleading ads or spamming ad, and also avoid exploiting sensitive data when you're trying to run a lot of the ads, and focus on trust building and adding like a long-term customer relationship. Another thing you can also enable is the cookieless and global trends. So even though like local regulations are not involved, but when you wanted to prepare for like things like GDPR, which is basically the European ones, especially if you have a website and people from outside of China come to your website because you can't control it, make sure you also enable those features in your website, and that will also help you. And then use like first party data contextual targeting, and permission-based like marketing. That's also some things that I would recommend. Any question in the legal side of things? But to just be honest, when it comes to South Sudan, I feel like the legal side of things is kind of very mellow. There's not a lot of like heavy restrictions. I would just be conscious if I'm running any advertising in the neighboring countries. If you can go to the next slide, Shinke. So now let's understand our buyer journey. So normally when customers are coming to you, they are in 3 different phases. They're in awareness phase, either consideration phase or decision-making phase. When somebody's in the awareness phase, that means somebody still don't know about you, but you're trying to like tell them, hey, I have a business, I have a service. Look, these are some things that I'm selling. These are some products or services that I'm offering. And how would you target that person? Is normally you would do videos, you would do blog posts, you would do like social media posts, you would do infograph and quizzes. That's how you will basically feeding information to that individual. Once the person actually know about you and discover your brand and get to be familiar and start following you on social media and things like that, now you're going to move to the next point, is to bring them down to the funnel. Is now they're in the consideration phase. No, stay in the consideration page. Shinka, go back. So the consideration phase here, you need to give them like newsletters, events, white papers, webinars, to basically feed them, to get them to, consider your business, as opposed to them going to the competitor. Because we know in business, we always have a competitor. We always have somebody doing something similar, the same as us. So how can we get that client to consider us better than going to somebody else? Is like, we need to feed them with more information at that level. Then finally, when they're ready to actually come to us for the service, or they're ready to be a customer, we can then give them like case study, pricings, and demo. Demo actually helps a lot, especially certain brands. Like if you are a tech brand, you always want to give people a demo on how product works. If you are a makeup artist, or if you are like an influencer, like, doing a lot of beauty products, you probably need to have videos that's showing how the product is being used and what are the benefits and features of these products. That is part of the demo that you're offering, to be able to give them so that they can know how to utilize it, and they're more likely to actually end up buying from you. Then the last thing you need to focus on, once you have all this holistic view, is that keeping retention of the client, making sure that these clients are coming back and referring other people to come to your business as well. In the next slide, now we're going to talk about budgeting and prioritization. So how do we actually allocate budget, right? So budget allocation, make sure that you're allocating wisely across like key channels. Take a specific channel that you want to, because obviously you cannot run a campaign in every single platform and channels, especially if you're just starting out. Unless you're an enterprise company, you have the budget, you can then do all of them. But for startup and entrepreneurs, most likely, you actually wanted to generate profit, as opposed to wasting a lot of the ad towards ad and spend budget, things like that. So focusing 2 to 3 core strategy first. Avoid spreading resources thin, and then also reinvest what has worked, and then kind of do it again. And then whatever doesn't work, cut it off and move to the next one. If you go to the next slide, I have an example of how normally I would allocate it. So we would have like, let's say for example, if you have $1,000, we split like 500 to LinkedIn ads, we split 250 towards like SEO, and then 200 toward email marketing, and then the rest of it will be on content creation. So making sure that we're putting the bigger budget towards a channel that actually is more effective. If you go to the next slide, Shinke. And then now we can also measure it, like always make sure that we have our KPIs. So once we start running these ad campaign, we need to measure like the traffic and the bounce rate. Because if you're noticing that a lot of people actually click on your ad, go to your website, and then they bounce off, it means the content that they're finding from your website is not what they're looking for. It's not effective. So if you have a higher bounce rate is basically when somebody comes to your website and doesn't stay there more than 10 seconds, they leave the website. If you're noticing that a lot, it means either your website the load is taking forever to load, especially if they're coming through mobile and the mobile is not optimal, your landing page is not optimized for mobile. then it will, if it's taking forever, the kid's gonna leave and go to the next business. So you need to make sure that you're looking at your website, you're looking at the image size. If you have a lot of images on the website, maybe probably reduce the image size so that way it does not impact the overall load of your website. And then another thing, if you're noticing, sometimes it's like the shipping cost or the content of the website doesn't make sense, or sometimes if your web page looks very weird or looks spammy and it's suspicious like a scam, then you probably need to revamp that website and make it a little more clear and concise. And then look at also your conversion rate. How many people clicked on the ads and actually end up calling you or becoming a client? You also need to look into all of these things. And then when it comes to email marketing, you need to know how many people actually open that email, like the opening rates, and then how many of them actually end up replying. So these are some things that also we keep track of when we're doing our marketing. In the next slide. Normally what we do is like, we also kind of like, if you want to screenshot this, so these are some mini activities that you could do for yourself. You can churn out from your company, the company that you own or the business that you're basically helping, trying to know, okay, at the awareness level, how will my client discover me or discover my product and services? How will they discover you? Then basically write it down. And then for the consideration is, what content or what information can I put out so that way it can make me stand out better than my competitor? And usually here for the consideration, you want to think of like your value proposition, your unique selling points, like what makes you so different than the competitor, especially if you guys are offering similar products. And then the decision, how will I convince that client to buy from me? These are some things that you need to add. Once you have established all 3 points, then when you're writing your ad copies or when you're running your campaign, you'll be able to also include those one at different stage of this buyer journey when you try and target them. Next slide. So case study. So this is actually an example of what we do. So we had a food supply company. We helped them with optimizing their SEO. Their website traffic increased by 150%. And then their sale actually grew by 30% in the last month alone, just because of the optimization that we have done. And then with regards to the email marketing, so I know I have been sending you guys emails and things like that. We also do keep track of that. And as you can see, for the first course, the first email that we sent, we only had about 37.8% opening rates. And then the second email that went out as a reminder that something happening in 2 days, it only had a 48.39% opening rate. And the last email that we sent, we had about 60% opening rate. So that metric goes to show that the more and more email update and stuff that we're sending out, the better our opening rate actually increases. So these are some metrics that when you're running email marketing, you always want to keep that data into consideration, because then you would know, okay, do I need to change the headlines? Do I need to make it time sensitive? What are some context that do I need to do in order to help me improve my overall marketing? And that is also just a slight example of what we did like the last 2 weeks ago. And yeah, so these are some case studies that we do gradually. And if you go to the next slide. Some tools and resources you can use. You can use for SEO. I highly recommend you to use things like SEMrush, Ahrefs, and Ubersuggest. These will help you with a lot, like the keyword suggestions, help you with like understanding your competitors' keyword list and things like that. And then for social media, you can use like Buffer, Hootsuite, Later. For email marketing, I use MailChimp. I also use Klaviyo for my e-com client. And then HubSpot is also a great platform to utilize. And when it comes to paid search, paid ad, we use Google Ads, Meta, and what's it called? Ads Manager. And then for the analytic thing, it's just basically like Hotjar and Google Analytic 4. These are really great to track those data to understand like how you can monitor the KPIs for your marketing to make sure that if it's effective or not and things like that. We have a question here, says, how can we analyze email rate? May you do it practically? So the thing is, when you are signing up to any of the email marketing, like for example, the MailChimp, Klaviyo, or HubSpot, if you did send out an email out, because you would have like basically a list of people list, whether they're like, let's say 30 emails or 100 email or 2,000 email. Once you send out a campaign out, these tools have features in there, which is the analytic feature. They will know how many people actually opened the email, and also they will know how many of them actually went into your landing page. Like for example, when you guys receive our recent email, it has a click to like join the Zoom, and then there's a second portion of that email also have like watch our YouTube for the previous class, or also go to the website directly. We're monitoring all of these steps, and because we have these buttons there, we would know the opening rates. We'll also know the click rates of like where are these people actually clicking in, and then this data will also be given to us, like at what time it happened and who did it. We also have those information. For privacy reason, I cannot do a live demo, but if you wanted to message me privately, like send me an email at info@avestdigital.com, I'll be able to help you set that up for your business as well. Next slide. Shake, next slide. Yeah, so right now, any questions so far? Any other questions? Cool. Yeah, so if you guys have more questions, guys, at the end we will have more Q&A sessions. So future and beyond. So how does the future and beyond look like? Right now, if you guys already know that AI is becoming like the talk of the town, like everything is becoming AI, you know? AI-driven personalization. Another thing that we, especially, I had actually, I went to Microsoft Office on Thursday. We had a meeting in Microsoft, and some of the stuff that they're doing at Microsoft recently is that they have a similar AI, which is called Copilot. And that Copilot is actually been integrated into the system to help now create like automated, like what's it called? Ad copies and things like that. And even with Google, my previous training at Google is that we start utilizing Gemini to start writing ad copies. And the thing with AI is that the more information you're feeding in, the better the AI will actually come for you. You need to train your AI to work with you. You need to personalize it. And the marketing industry is going to change in the next 2 to 5 years. We're going to be at a point where digital strategies, like before, when I started for my time, a lot of the strategy, a lot of the ad copies, a lot of the segmentations, we were doing it manually. And only in 2020, when Google was introducing like things like the machine learning with PMax, with auto applied recommendations, where we were pitching it to clients, this is when the time when we started actually honing in the AI-driven personalized ads. But now, just in a matter of 5 years, it has taken over. Now they have Google Search AI Max. They have they take away like the dynamic search and things like that. In the next couple of years, like upcoming years, we're gonna see AI is actually the marketing agency. They will need to change their game from utilizing a lot of AI-driven power as opposed to just working it the way how traditionally the paid ad used to work. The other thing is people are now using like their mobile, they talk to like, hey Siri, and things like that. And these are called like voice search optimization. And these are also taken into consideration when we're creating ads. And another thing is like some people are now using images. Like for example, if I see a dress that I like on Instagram, I can take a screenshot of it, go to Google, put that pictures on Google. Google will scan it and Google will tell me which store actually have that dress. So these are also another thing that they're using digitalized like VR and AR and like images to optimize. And then privacy first market and cookieless era is going to become a thing. That's where the legal side of stuff is going to start becoming very prominent. And then community driven growth, these are also going to become very, very huge when it comes to like community stuff like that. Yeah. So the marketing industry is changing, and it's going to be an ever-changing platforms when it comes to like just like the machine learning and stuff like that. If you go to the next slide. So another action plan that you could do for as a startup is, yes, you can also define your goals and define your audience. As I mentioned, always pick 2 organics and 1 paid platform. create a content calendar. Content calendar is basically knowing like when you want to post. For me, when I first started, I would do post like every Monday. I will have one post out, and then every Thursday I would have like videos out on YouTube. And then every Saturday I will be doing the training courses going out on Saturdays as a form of blog. So this basically, once you have a schedule as to know when you're putting these out, this also helps your customers, helps your audience to know when they can expect things from you on your channels. And then always make sure that you're looking at your analytic and you're tracking this analytic to help you optimize, to know like, okay, these are some things that I could utilize better for my brand. And then in the next coming slide, any questions so far? Because if there's no questions, I have actually a pop quiz with a prize for you guys. So let me know if there's any questions. Feel free to unmute your mic or put your hands up, and then we can take up some of your questions while I reload the quiz. Do you have WhatsApp group for upcoming session? So with the upcoming sessions, like if you, Shinka, if you can go to the next slide. So we do have an upcoming session. So we have the leverage media to drive business growth. We also have content strategy and storytelling.
I see Malona, Adiga, Isaac raise their hand.
Okay, I will definitely take their questions, but I'm just answering the one in the chat. So Malona, yeah, we do have from the emails that you guys already signed up with, we are gonna keep you guys updated. I will make sure to enroll you guys for the next class, so you are gonna get a notifications, and you're also gonna get an email updated from us every time the next class is happening. You are gonna get updated on that. And then if you wanted to also reach out to us directly, you can always go to Aves Digital. I'm gonna drop it in the chat here, avesdigital.com. That is our email where you can also reach out to us for more questions, or even like on our Instagram. But our email is the fastest communication you can get us. Yeah, Malong, your hand is still up. You have other question? Isaac, yeah, I can go ahead. Any other question, guys?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate you for the facilitation of today, and it was really very vital, and it was really aligned with what I'm doing. And let me share for the last month, I was doing the same course, that is digital marketing and the e-commerce. And as I talk by now, I already finished the course. But where I resign, I still even I was stranded, and it can't allow me to do the digital market. And I really am having the zeal of doing the digital marketing, and there's no way I can even affiliate with someone or maybe with any company advertise their goods and do other things, marketing shopping store. And the issue is now there's no funding which can allow me to start that. How best can I help that person who is having the interest of doing digital marketing in such platform? Thank you very much.
Sorry, the last portion of it you kind of cut off. So you're trying to run a digital marketing for shopping company? Like, is that what you're asking?
Just any.
Oh, just the email part of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the other thing is like, if you're going to be doing the email component of it, I would suggest do you have currently like the contact list of some of your the people that actually bought from the client before? Do you guys have like a form in like, have you run like a paid what's it called, a Facebook ad with form submissions, so for these people to put their information contact in there, or no?
Yes, I am having I just opened the page
Mhm.
because there was also an advert which was running, and they're like someone who can do digital market,
Yeah.
and what they want is someone who have already accomplished some of the maybe some of the products in your website, and yet I've not did any accomplishment, maybe designing the flyers or capturing other photos where you drop on your social media accounts, and I've
Yeah.
not did that one. Now, how can you maybe able to handle those scenarios?
Oh yeah, definitely. So there is different, obviously, like a strategy you can optimize. If it's gonna be like the organic side of things, you would basically, like, you remember how I talked about the buyer journey, like the awareness, considerations, and decisions. So understand from that product that you guys want to push out, are you guys already, do people already know about the brand? If the people don't know about the brand, maybe you need to work on doing some campaigns on like the brand awareness side of things. So whatever, like the ad copies that you're creating in terms of brand awareness, which is basically showing more of the information about the product. Who are you guys as a company, what the product is, and things like that. And then the second component of that marketing will come down to the consideration. So you can highlight some of like the unique selling value of the product. Like, how would the product help me as a customer? If I were to buy this product today, what that product will do to me, right? So you need to add that into the ad copies of it, of the things, basically explaining the value and the benefit of it. So that way, when I see the post online or I see it on the email marketing, I'd be like, yes, this actually, if it's like for, let's say, for makeup, for acne or whatever, like if something like, oh, it has like salicylic acid, it will help you with clear your pimples and things like that, and I have that issue, I'll be like, oh wow, this is actually the product that I need. So I'm more likely to be able to actually purchase the product. So try to see what the problem is in the market and how can that product help that customer. If it's a fashion, maybe you want to talk about how would this dress or this outfit make me feel like, right? Because you're selling it. And then you can also highlight what type of materials are you using to actually create that product. Is it cotton? Is it silk? What is it? What is it made of? And also, is your company like socially conscious? Also, these are some things that people also take into consideration nowadays. Now you can also highlight that when you're writing these ad copies. Then the other thing is, like, you can also work into starting funneling down the email marketing side. So make sure that every time you are engaging or you're creating a marketing plan, you're trying to collect email addresses and contact information from your followers and things like that. So that way you will put them into your email marketing list. Whenever you guys have a sales, promotions, and things like that, you would then push it out. If you need to have like a separate conversation, feel free to just send me an email, and then we can also schedule another like 30-minute call to talk more in depth on that as well. Sounds good? Awesome. Cool. What app can be effective to support a beginner in digital marketing? So if you wanted to work towards heavily on the paid side of things, I would say, like for example, right now, Google is offering free training on the digital marketing side, so to understand how to utilize Google Ads. So you can go to skillshops.google. They have a lot of free information there. The other thing is also website like Think with Google. They also have a lot of information and resources available. And also Avest Digital, like us, we do also have a lot of content on our website. You can also get some information with that. And just you staying in our emailing list, we will also be able to help you and send you some tools you can also utilize for some of these stuff for a beginner friendly like digital marketing courses. And I do also have a lot of training that I have done in the past. I will make sure that I send it to you guys in the emails. Some of these stuff that I have trained them already at the college, for George Brown College. So I do have like, I have on SEO, I have on like basically what digital marketing is, and then I have on the paid side of stuff like how to optimize campaign, how to utilize it. So these are some things that we can also send it to you guys via email as well. So just make sure you guys are keeping your emails open whenever you guys are receiving information from us. These are basically helpful content that we're sending it to you guys. Okay, any questions so far? Sounds good. Now let's play Kahoot, guys. If you have your phone Shinke, if you can stop sharing. Okay, so now I want you guys all to go to Kahoot. Where do you go? So go to this website, or you can even use like the QR code. Go to www.kahoot.it and enter this pin code. And let's get it. This is gonna be a quiz. So whoever wins, you guys will have a 30 minutes call with me to optimize your campaign, as well as to do a marketing plan for your business. So let's see who will win that prize. So I have Habib, Makur, waiting for more people to join. And Joseph. We'll give you a few more minutes. Join, guys, so I can kickstart the session. It's actually a fun game. Welcome, Waju. We have 4 people. Let's go, guys. It's a very fun game. Long. See you. Welcome. Ibrahim, let's go. Victor, welcome. Okay. Let's go, guys. Hello. There's David is here, so I'm just waiting for people to join. Then we can kickstart. Sometimes internet can be slow, so I'm gonna give you guys 30 more seconds and then we kickstart it. Right, so we are gonna start. For those who are joining after, feel free. So let's start. All right. Digital Marketing Masterclass. So this quiz, digital marketing is only for large businesses with big budget. Is it true? False? I don't know. Or I was sleeping. Come again. What is the answer? Wow, amazing, guys. You guys are all awake. I'm so happy. Okay, that's good. It is false. Digital marketing is for everybody with every budget. Doesn't matter if you're a big company or not. But then also the score is given to the, if you answer fast, you get the highest point. So the faster you answer, the highest points you get. So Habib, you're leading the pack. Let's see the next question. Organic marketing refers to strategies like SEO, content, and social media posts that does not require direct ad spend. What is it true? Is it false? I don't know. What is organic again? It is true, guys. So organic, as I mentioned earlier, it is anything that you guys are not using a lot of direct paid media. So we have organic marketing and paid marketing. So for the 3 people, just remember that. Next question. Ooh, Maya and Joseph, welcome, leading the pack. Makur second. Let's say the next one. True or false? Paid marketing includes method like Google Ads, Meta Ads, and TikTok ads. The faster you answer, the more points you get. Wow, that is so true, guys. Amazing, amazing. Now let's see. Ooh, Habib is coming back to claim his throne. So man is still there. Street strike. Let's go. True or false? In the buyer journey, the decision state comes before the awareness stage. It is false, guys. Remember, it's always awareness, okay? Then considerations, and then decision, okay? That is the level. Awareness is always the first one, is that big bar, then considerations, and then decision. People always want to see you first, then they want to think about you, and then they want to make a decision to actually buy from you. Okay, the next one. Ooh, Victor is coming in hot. Look at the flame. Let's go. True or false? Email marketing is still one of the most cost-effective way to nurture and convert. True, guys. As I mentioned, and I showed you guys the case study of last class, so it is still the most cost-effective way. A lot of email marketing tools are free, you guys can utilize it. All you need is for your clients to send you guys emails and give your consent to utilize the email so you can send them marketing content, okay? So let's see. Ooh, Habib back on track, the lead pack. Victor, you have 4 strike of correct answers. You're on fire. True or false? Startups should try to be on every digital platform at once. It is false. You wanted to select certain medium. You can't be everywhere and anything unless you have $1 million budget. Even $1 million budget, you cannot be everywhere. You have to reduce some things. So always pick 2 organic and 1 paid. That is the rule of the game for startups, okay? On fire with the highest strike of 5. Habib is still leading the way. And true or false? Business to effective platform. It's true. Wow. Okay. All of you guys got this, but points are given to the fastest person answering it. Amazing. 3 in a row. Makur. Wow. You on fire. Let's go. True or false? A clear target audience persona makes digital marketing campaigns more effective. It's true. The more you know about your audience, the better your marketing audience is and actually your campaign is gonna be. Okay? So let's see. 2 more questions. Let's go. Organic strategy builds a long-term trust while paid strategy give a faster result. It is true, guys. Organic gives a long trust while paid, when you want to pay for something, you push it out there more. That's what the paid strategy is. It's faster. And I mentioned earlier that SEO takes up to 6 months to see result. But if you're doing paid ad, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, you can see the result within a week or a month. You will see good growth. But organically, it takes 6 months to see a good data result. So let's see. Woo, okay. 8 strike, Victor. Well done. Habib leading the pack. Makur, let's go. Tracking key performance indicator like click-through rate, CPC, and replies is not important. It's false. Yes, we need to track KPIs, okay? These are very important for us to know these metrics. Now let's see who's our winner. Okay. Drama, Victor, 3rd place. Makur, 2nd place. Congratulations. You, Habib, and Wajra, and the rest of the team, well done. Thank you guys for participating in this amazing Kahoot session. Yeah, so what I want to say right now, Shinke, if you can share back,
Sir, I heard half
thank
of
you
what you
guys
said.
so much. No, I said if you can share. Congratulations to Habib. Well done for our Kahoot master of the evening. I will reach out to you, Habib, so that you can schedule your 30 minutes call with me where we can work through your optimization for your marketing. We can set up marketing audits and plan for you. So feel free to reach out to me, or my team is also going to reach out to you so that we can do that. And also, if this time, if we have Emmanuel in here, we're on behalf of the Excellency Foundation for South Sudan. I know we wanted to introduce him earlier. If he can now take the mic and explain more about our partnership and some of the amazing work that the Excellency Foundation for South Sudan is doing in Juba and things like that. Is Emmanuel in the house?
I think Emmanuel didn't join us today. Maybe for the next class he will be available. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you everyone for joining today's class. And I hope you were able to learn something that is valuable that you can apply to your business. On behalf of Aves Digital, we are available. We are ready to support you on your online journey. We have our email there. We provide our email, informs@avesdigital.com. You can also book a one-on-one consultation with Nancy. You can book it through email. You can send us an email, and then we'll arrange for you one-on-one, and then we can also give you more details on the consultation. We have a lot of services that we offer at Aves Digital. We do the digital marketing strategy. We also do social media management. We can manage all your accounts. If you have your business and you're busy, we will be able to handle that for you. We also do build website, like a standard website. We can also run a paid campaign and do advertising for you anytime. We also do content creation, and then we also do copywriting and a lot of other services that we offer at Avest Digital. You can find us at let me just put in our website so that you will be able to get more of our services there. You can email us also, info at avestdigital.com, and we'll be ready to assist you. Thank you so much for joining today's class.
Thank you guys, and thank you Akol for explaining the services, and also Shinke for guiding us through these presentations. And once again, congratulations, Habib. Make sure to reach out to us to, grant your prize for today with that 30-minute consultation for your win. And we'll look forward to meet you guys in 2 weeks' time for our next sessions we're going to be covering. And just watch out for the emails just always look out for emails from us regarding the update for the next class. And you guys have a wonderful evening. If you're in Juba,